4. Lego toys are originally from Denmark. Lego is originally from Billund, Denmark, and has been manufacturing the beloved toys since 1949.
Olá pessoal, sejam bem-vindos a mais um vídeo nesse canal. Nós somos cidadãos do terceiro mundo e nesse canal nós reagimos e aprendemos sobre o primeiro mundo. Nesse vídeo nós vamos reagir a 15 coisas que você não sabia sobre a Dinamarca.
Portanto, aproveite a oportunidade e considere se inscrever em nosso canal, clique no gostei e compartilhe esse vídeo, faça mais sugestões nos comentários e agora vamos para a reação.
This is Travel Tuesdays. Every Tuesday we present you with another incredible country. Today we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Denmark. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers and welcome back to our video. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. We've been thinking, since summer is just around the corner, what about a few virtual trips around the world to see which country has the best summery destination? Today, we're setting our sights on the wonders of Denmark. Situated in northern Europe and made up of the Jutland Peninsula and more than 400 islands in the Northern Sea, Denmark is one of the world's most prosperous countries, with some of the happiest citizens in the world. Denmark was once covered with trees, but sadly almost all of the original forest has been chopped down. The country is mostly flat, with gently rolling hills shaped by glaciers that moved slowly around the landmass during the Ice Age. Denmark is a constitutional monarchy and has the longest unbroken line of rulers in Europe. Whether you fall in love with Denmark's natural beauty, landscapes, or with its beautiful cities, this Nordic country will put a spell on you no matter what. So, without further ado, here are the 15 things you didn't know about Denmark for you to find out some more about this amazing country.
Wow.
Number 1. Danish ancestors were Vikings. The period between 990 and 1066 is commonly known as the Viking Age. That was when people originally from the Scandinavian peninsula and northern Europe, Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, known as the Vikings, ventured by sea into Europe and conquered a lot of territory. It's said that the Danish Vikings were the most active of them all, conquering Britain, France, and Western Europe. Vikings were pagans, living by their own mythology and beliefs with powerful gods like Odin and Thor. Their mythology became so popular that it inspired a lot of books, modern mythology, fantasy, movies, and TV shows. The Vikings' ultimate purpose was to resist Christianity from spreading by all means, and up to this day, very few Scandinavian people are Christians.
Que interessante isso, porque até então, até pouco tempo, eu achava que somente os noruegueses tinham como ancestrais os vikings. Eu não sabia que também estava nos outros países. Incrível.
Sim,
isso.
Realmente incrível. É muito interessante. Uma coisa aqui que chama atenção é o fato de a minoria desse país ser cristã. Então, realmente, eles mantiveram muito essa coisa da origem deles, né? Porque era uma outra crença. Enfim, isso realmente é muito interessante.
Sim.
Number 2. They have the world's happiest citizens. A lot of studies show that the Danes are amongst the happiest people in the world. At first, it was thought that Danish people were so happy because they have low expectations. But after some research, the real reason was discovered, and that is, their government actually takes care of them. Danish people get free access to healthcare, education, and a whole 10 months of maternity or paternity leave. Yes, you can definitely say a high standard of living is enjoyed in Denmark, and this standard led the country to rank high in some metrics of national performance in categories like education, healthcare, protection of civil liberties, democratic governance, prosperity, and human development. Number 3. The movie Frozen was based on a fairy tale written by a Danish author. The 2013 movie Frozen, popular not only amongst children but amongst parents and teenagers too, is based on the original children's tale The Snow Queen, written by Danish author Hans Christian Andersen. The author is widely known for fairy tales like The Emperor's New Clothes, The Little Mermaid, The Nightingale, The Ugly Duckling, and Thumbelina. To honor his work and his
Wow.
legacy, the city of Copenhagen named a boulevard after him and dedicated a statue to one of his famous characters, the Little Mermaid. The statue will be 105 years old this year, and one of the most beautiful art pieces in Denmark.
Mas eu tô chocada, eu não sabia que todos esses contos eram desse autor.
Uau,
São verdadeiros clássicos.
São verdadeiros clássicos, é desse autor, mas o fator principal aqui é que é um autor da Dinamarca.
Sim!
Uau! Eu tô realmente muito surpreso com essa informação.
Eu também, porque é um pedacinho da Dinamarca que sempre esteve presente na vida de muitas pessoas. Que incrível isso!
Number 4. Lego toys are originally from Denmark. Lego is originally from Billund, Denmark, and has been manufacturing the beloved toys since 1949. In February of 2015, Lego replaced Ferrari as the world's most powerful brand and has mega shops all around the world. Theme parks, books, jewelry, and clothing for sale. They produce 19 billion pieces of Lego every year, and their toys are even used at NASA Kennedy Space Center for building prototype ships and learning. Last year, they released a new collection cherishing the women who helped and worked throughout the years for a better understanding of space. The collection is called Women of NASA, and it includes minifigures of Nancy Grace Roman, Margaret Hamilton, Sally Ride, and Mae Jemison. Cool thing if you ask us. Number 5. The richest man in the country has a net worth of $5.5 billion. With such a huge and successful company, the Lego Group owner is by far the richest person in Denmark. He's currently 70 years old, and he inherited the company from his grandfather, Ole Kirk Christiansen, who founded Lego almost 100 years ago. The company now focuses on rebuilding itself as a sustainable brand, taking into consideration how their plastic toys affect the environment. The company has announced it's invested $165 million into the cause and recruited over 100 new employees in an effort to implement sustainable alternatives to existing materials by 2030. They have already started by reducing their packaging size and their carbon footprint. Lego also started a campaign called Build the Change, inspired by hundreds of letters they've received from kids all around the world. Through this campaign, they are trying to have a positive impact over the environment and nature.
Nossa, eu tô muito surpreso em descobrir que a Lego é dinamarquesa também.
Eu também.
E é outra coisa da Dinamarca que faz parte da vida de muitas pessoas, principalmente as crianças.
É verdade, e também estou muito surpresa em saber que eles têm essa consciência, uma empresa tão grande assim tem essa consciência, né, sobre o meio ambiente. Isso é incrível.
Bom, mas por um lado é algo que não surpreende pelo fato de ser um país de primeiro mundo e um país muito bem desenvolvido.
Sim.
Number 6. They have a serious problem with a low birth rate. Even though their citizens are among the happiest people in this world, and their government takes care of them by giving them free healthcare, free education, and paid maternity or paternity leave, the Danish people are not making babies anymore. This issue is so serious that in 2015, Denmark's government got involved and started a series of campaigns promoting sex and having children. Those campaigns have some crazy ideas behind them, such as promoting a trip with a hotel room and all the facilities included in order for couples to feel encouraged to have sex. Another one promoted making babies and giving parents grandchildren through mottos like, "Do it for Denmark, do it for mom." I guess desperate times call for desperate measures? Number 7. The Kim Wall murder trial starts this spring in Denmark. Swedish freelance journalist Kim Wall disappeared during the night between the 10th and the 11th of August 2017, after she was last seen boarding Peter Madsen's midget submarine UC-3 Nautilus. Kim was writing about him and accepted his invitation to check out the submarine, but sadly she ended up being killed in cold blood by Madsen, with her body then cut into pieces and dumped into the sea. UC-3 Nautilus sank afterwards, but its owner escaped. There is some speculation that he even ate some of her remains. Prosecutors were shocked by the clues and texts they found showing the intent to murder Kim. Madsen is accused of killing Wall and hiding her body. The trial for this murder will take place in the spring of 2018 in Copenhagen. Number 8.
Meu Deus, mas eu não sabia que isso tinha acontecido lá. Caramba.
Eu também não sabia e isso é algo muito chocante.
Sim, eu acredito que deva ser muito chocante também para eles, porque, pelo que a gente vê nos vídeos, é um país que tem um índice de criminalidade e violência muito baixo, né?
E isso é algo que... Isso realmente, né? Se esses índices de criminalidade são tão baixos, uma coisa tão grave como essa realmente é algo que deve chocar muito a sociedade de lá, né?
Sim.
The ruling prince didn't want to be buried next to his queen. The royal family of Denmark is one of the most respectable monarchies in the world, with no scandal or controversy ever surrounding them until last year. Prince Henrik, who was suffering from dementia, announced that when he died, he didn't want to be buried next to his Marguerite in the cathedral where the remains of Danish royals have gone for centuries, breaking a 459-year-old tradition. The queen had already made a special sarcophagus for the couple. Prince Henrik was titled the Prince Consort, not King, even though he was Queen Marguerite's husband. He wasn't in the line of succession, his oldest son, Frederick, being the heir to the throne. Sadly, Prince Henrik died at the age of 83 in February of 2018. He was cremated, and half of his ashes were scattered across the Danish seas, and half placed at Fredensborg Palace. Number 9. The geography of Denmark helps them with industry. In Denmark, it rains or snows every other day, around 170 days out of the year. It's basically windy, rainy, and kind of cold with sparks of sunshine and warmth during the summer. Also in Denmark, there are no mountains or hills, and the country is surrounded by water. All of these factors forced Denmark to explore new ideas regarding the production of energy. In 1970, the Danes were pioneers in developing commercial wind power. Nowadays, a substantial share of the wind turbines all around the world are produced by Danish manufacturers like Vestas and Siemens Wind Power. This method is so effective that it generates 140% of the country's demand. Denmark is a good example of making the most out of what you've got. In their case, wind and zero altitude.
Uau! Incrível isso! Isso realmente é uma implementação muito interessante, é uma implementação muito inteligente porque você se utiliza de uma energia renovável. E o vento, eu acredito que seja uma das melhores energias que tem, porque o vento, ele está ativo todo ano, todos os dias, a todo momento.
É verdade, eu realmente fico surpresa porque é uma coisa que é muito benéfica, né? Então, tipo, eles estão realmente tendo uma ação muito inteligente.
Uau, isso é incrível!
Sim, incrível.
Number 10. The most expensive vodka in the world was held at a bar in Denmark and was worth $1.3 million.
Eu acho que isso a gente viu em outro
In order to honor the
vídeo.
centenary of his company's factory, the Russian Russo Baltic, a luxury car maker, created the world's most expensive bottle of vodka. The bottle was handed to Café 33, a bar in Denmark, as a part of their collection. The famous bottle of vodka even became a TV show phenomenon and was featured in episodes from shows like House of Cards, where it was portrayed as the present from the president of Russia to his US counterpart. As the Danish police stated recently, the bottle that is valued at $1.3 million was stolen. Moreover, it was found empty on a construction site. Such a shame and such a loss. But if you'd like to learn some more about the most expensive beverages out there, go check out our video on the top 10 most expensive alcoholic drinks in the world.
Pergunta qual sabor
Number
deve
11.
ter.
A lot of famous actors, musicians, and bands come from Denmark. A lot of well-known actors are from Denmark. Mads Mikkelsen, who plays Hannibal in the TV series with the same name. Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, who plays Jaime Lannister in the TV series Game of Thrones, and his colleague, Catrice Van Houten, who plays Melisandre in the same TV series. The characters
Nossa,
played by Danish people are strangely, usually weird, dark, mean, and evil, but the actors performing are very good at impersonating them. The drummer from the band called Metallica, one of the most successful rock bands that are still going strong today, is also from Denmark. And since we're talking about brands, worth
Uau,
mentioning
tem
is
muitos
Skype,
dinamarqueses
which was co-founded
famosos.
by Dane Jonas Friis in 2003, and later sold to eBay and afterwards to Microsoft. Number 12. Denmark has a strong cycling culture. Danish people are known for their love of biking, Denmark being one of the most developed countries when it comes to cycling culture. The capital of Denmark, Copenhagen, was named in 2017 the world's most livable city and best city for cyclists. That comes as no surprise, since Copenhagen is a haven for cyclist lovers and environmentalists with over 390 kilometers of bike lanes. The cycling culture is so strong that kids are learning how to ride a bike from a young age. Furthermore, in primary school, they have special classes in which they learn about traffic rules and road safety through campaigns like All Children Cycle, held by Danish Cyclists Federation. Denmark is leading by example, and countries like the US, China, Mexico, and Australia started to become more bike-friendly as well. Number 13.
Nossa, isso é uma coisa que a gente sempre comenta, que aqui no nosso país não tem muitos ciclovias, e realmente é uma pena, porque é um meio tão legal de transporte, né? Mas realmente aqui a gente não tem essa cultura, assim.
Realmente, né? A gente tem uma carência de espaço para esse tipo de atividade no nosso país. O que, por um lado, é um pouco ruim, porque em nosso país a gente investe muito em carros, né, que são veículos poluentes, então não há um incentivo para que as pessoas utilizem mais a bicicleta, por exemplo. Isso é um pouco ruim, por um lado, né?
They managed to ban plastic bags. 8 million tons of plastic waste ends up in the oceans each year. There'll be more plastic than fish by weight in the oceans by 2050 if current trends continue. So taking the initiative to ban plastic bags is very important, and every country should do so as soon as possible. Denmark and other countries like Hong Kong, Britain, South Africa, or Botswana successfully banned plastic bags due to environmental issues and pollution. It's a massive step towards stopping plastic waste, and they managed to inspire other countries to act the same on this matter. The average Dane, for example, now uses just 4 single-use plastic bags a year, after the introduction of a plastic use fee back in 1994.
Isso é uma coisa que em nosso país também tem, né? A gente implementou em nosso país o uso de sacolas ecológicas.
Eu não sei em outras cidades, assim, porque aqui na nossa cidade colocaram uma taxa, né, para desestimular as pessoas a estarem usando sacolas plásticas descartáveis. Outras cidades, não sei se adotaram isso, mas aqui adotaram e a gente tem agora nossas sacolas ecológicas.
E a gente fica muito feliz quando a gente consegue implementar medidas e práticas que são adotadas em países de primeiro mundo.
Sim, é verdade, porque eles estão fazendo uma coisa muito boa, né? Isso realmente é inspirador.
Number 14. Pandora, the jewelry brand, comes from Denmark. Pandora, the international Danish jewelry manufacturer and retailer, started as a family-run jewelry shop in Copenhagen. It was founded in 1982 by Per and Evelsen, and the jewelry company soon became a huge brand. The Pandora products are now sold in more than 100 countries on 6 continents through approximately 7,700 points of sale, including approximately 2,200 concept stores. The company is publicly listed and traded on NASDAQ as NASDAQ Copenhagen Pandora, and it's said to be worth $11.8 billion. Amongst Pandora's popular jewelry pieces are the silver Pandora bracelets with their splendid charms and the Pandora silver rings. Number 15. Education, as we said, is free in Denmark. As stated before, the Danish government takes care of the people that live in Denmark through things like free healthcare, paid maternity or paternity leave, and free education. The Danish government provides accommodation for all students, fully furnished dorms or apartments, and a monthly allowance of $900. This money comes from the taxes that Danes are paying. The taxes are as high as 60%, which makes Denmark an expensive country to live and work in. These taxes are based on a progressive tax system, a system that seems to work perfectly for Nordic countries. They have higher taxes, but a recent survey showed that 9 out of 10 Danish citizens are happy to pay it, which makes the government's life easier, and I guess, in turn, the citizens' life easier as well. Is Denmark amazing or what? They sure have a special way of approaching life. Before you go, let us know this. Did you own any Lego bricks when you were young and growing up? Or do you own them now? Let us know in the comments below.
Uau! Meu Deus, que país incrível!
Still here, are you? Of course you are. And since you stuck with us until the very end, here's a bonus fact just for you. Number 16. They have a special word for a certain feeling. The word hygge describes the cozy feeling of togetherness, which gets you through the winter. The word can also be found in the Norwegian vocabulary. The best English translation is coziness, but the word has a deeper meaning, and it can't be translated through words alone. There's also a book written about this word, the feeling and how to achieve it. It's called The Little Book of Hygge, Danish Secrets to Happy Living. The book is now translated into multiple languages and it's a bestseller. After the success of the book, a lot of blogs started to come out talking about this word and feeling and making content around it. Hygge was rated one of the top 10 words of the year in 2016. In fact, Hygge ranked right behind Brexit in Collins Dictionary Words of the Year.
Uau!
Uau! A Dinamarca realmente é um país muito surpreendente. É muito interessante que parece que a gente descobre muitas coisas sobre os outros países e a gente reage a mais vídeos citando curiosidades e fatos sobre os países e a gente percebe que a gente tem muita coisa para conhecer ainda desses países. Isso é incrível! Eu até agora, até esse momento, o vídeo terminou e eu estou chocado em descobrir que a Lego, os contos infantis vieram todos da Dinamarca.
É verdade, realmente a gente nunca para de ficar surpreendido. A Dinamarca está sempre nos surpreendendo. E eu acho incrível isso. Eu adoro descobrir mais sobre esse país, porque é um país muito inspirador. E eles nos inspiram com a cultura deles, com as políticas deles. E realmente é algo muito bonito e fascinante. É incrível, realmente incrível, porque é um país modelo. É um país modelo. É fascinante.
Realmente é fascinante e, mais uma vez, é algo que chama muito a nossa atenção, que a gente vê que é algo que tem em comum nos países super desenvolvidos e de primeiro mundo, que é o fato de eles atenderem a população, acesso gratuito para a educação, para a saúde. Isso realmente é algo fantástico. É realmente incrível.
Sim, realmente. Mas essa foi a reação desse vídeo, então se você gostou, por favor, aproveita para fazer mais sugestões e também se inscreve e ativa as notificações.
Muito obrigado por ter assistido esse vídeo e a gente se vê na próxima reação.
Tchau!